I guess you're unloading and you're letting the airplane fall.
To pull the nose down towards the horizon. Again, we're going to bring the nose way up. Roll. Recovery complete.
Okay.
You do not have to wait for 80 knots. As long as you hold the push, you can roll wings level. So follow me through in the controls.
Okay.
Recover.
Push. Power. Positive rate. And recover.
Done.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice and smooth and deliberate.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do next is we're going to mix it up. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to manipulate the aircraft, and then at some point I'm going to say you have control.
Okay.
When I do, open your eyes.
Okay.
All right, close your eyes for me, please. It's a little bit bumpy. You have control.
Okay. Push. Stabilize. Power set. Airspeed. Control.
That was nice. All right, I mean, that's a face full of used, I'm not even sure if you're aware, but you used the variant strategy. You did push, power, roll. Did it work?
It did, yeah.
Consider that you can be doing roll and power kind of at the same time, which is what you were doing. You were pulling the power back as you started to roll back to wings level. So, I mean, the baseline would be a little... Do another one. Close your eyes for me again, please.
Okay.
You have control.
All right, push, power, roll. Stabilize. Pitch and power set, airspeed stay. Recovery complete.
Oh, that was a good one. I have control.
Your controls.
That was a good one, Dave.
Thanks.
That was really nice. Nice and smooth with all the inputs. Nice, deliberate. Like no wasted time. Really quick with the inputs. That was really good to see. Cool. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
All right.
Power, roll. Pitch and power set. Airspeed stable, coming back. We've got a positive rate. Yeah.
Wake turbulence. Nicely done.
Yeah, thanks.
Nicely done. We like to see, you know, whether just pause for a moment and then apply the strategy. The variant again. It's kind of surprising. It's very rare that somebody starts to default to the variant because we've done the baseline so many times. But you actually did power and roll at exactly the same time. So, I mean, it worked really well. I don't want to be critical of what you
training I've had before in the unusual attitudes where they talk about if you...
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so what we want to move on to next is having a look and a conversation about... We look at rudder problems, aileron problems, and elevator issues. There's lots of different... Causes are actually surprisingly diverse. For conventional controls, it could be a... for control rods can bend, break, snap, get jammed on something. Controls, hydraulic systems can malfunction. Controls. Okay?
Okay.
So it's a diverse array of things that can cause it. Some sort of a structure about how are you going to attack this problem, okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, you can fall. So let's just recreate their situation. They're flying along just like us here. They're low speed. Plane goes into a hard over left rudder. They put right aileron in, but there's not enough aileron authority to stop the roll, so the airplane continues rolling. Okay, and this is what it looked like, okay? So the airplane goes rudder, it starts to roll, they can't stop it, nose starts to drop, they start... Power. Stabilize. Now you can hardly... Whole concept that the rudder would have more authority to generate roll than the ailerons would because of that whole crossover speed situation. Now, the good news though, up with a way of organizing our actions in order to maintain control in that type of a scenario. Now when you're dealing with a rudder or an aileron problem, 50% of the inputs for a slip. You just need to put in the other 50%.
Okay.
Okay? So in a situation where you have a hard over rudder to the left, rolling in the opposite direction. To do that, right, so that your ailerons get boosted effectiveness, as soon as you get into that slipping condition, now you can use power. Okay?
Okay.
All right, now, I'm going to turn us around, and I am going to be your rudder problem, okay?
Yeah, all right.
So here's your rules. You don't traveling forward in a straight line, and we are not descending, okay? The airplane starts to do this. Getting closer, almost. I mean, your passengers would be screaming murder back there, right?
Oh, good.
And clearly, you're not going to get into something this severe in your airplane. Here, I have control.
Your control?
But it's controllable, right? And that's kind of the whole premise. We're trying to... This airplane has a massive rudder, and so we can put you in a very, very challenging scenario, but yet you were still able to regain and maintain control of the airplane. It hasn't solved your problem, right? Your problem is still there. You have yourself now in a controlled state, and now you have time to try to troubleshoot, run through checklists.
Yeah, it does.
That was nicely done.
Still a scotch, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that one you spilled the scotch, man. It's like, you know, the customers on the left side of the airplane are now on the right side of the airplane.
Yeah.
All right, now here is you don't push.
Okay.
Because if the aileron... Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, I'm going to turn this around again. Just the wind keeps pushing us to the edge of the airspace here. That's why we're having to turn constantly. All right. So, you have control.
My controls.
You're flying along and the airplane starts to do this. There you go. Exactly right. You power and stabilize. Look at that. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Here, I have control.
Your control.
Deal with some of the control inputs that you're having to maintain. But you're in a controlled state. And so now this is where you'd be... Now the next one that we're going to do is... The elevator stuck driving you into the ground. Like, I'm sorry, you're just having like a really bad day. But if the elevator is pitching you up and strategy goes push, roll, power, stabilize. So we cannot push. So what do we do next?
Roll.
Yeah. Roll the airplane over before it reaches the stall. Because by tilting the lift vector, the airplane should be able... Alright, I'm going to turn this just a little bit here.
My control.
So let's simulate. You see a big flock of birds in front of you. So pitch up to a... What do you do?
Start to roll.
Yep. Elevators. There you go.
Yeah.
So we're just going to basically... If you wanted to fly in a straight line, what would you do? Into a slip.
Okay.
All right, cool.
There was an accident in Japan kind of like that. I remember.
Type of a situation. And usually the main stalls, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
You have no control of your angle of attack is reduced, but you don't have control over it. So you've got to preserve enough airspeed to have control of the airplane.
Yeah.
All right, that finishes that. Let's do Cuban 8, okay?
Okay.
And we'll accelerate to 160 knots. So you might want to drop the nose a little bit to help with that.
Okay.
Man, it is bumpy. And then you're going to do just like a loop, a straight pull back. A little bit more, right there. That's pulling. We'll go all the way around. Push and roll.